Water Multisport. If you see that I'm a little bit sweaty, it's because I get most of my thinking done when I'm on a run. So today, before I went home and got into all of the family crazy that happens when I go back home, I wanted to just make this video so that I can push this out to all of you guys and continue with your questions to me so that I can make videos and share all of this information to everybody. So the question that I was asked today from one of my athletes is, I'm running faster now and I'm starting to get some calf pain, and what can I do about it? So I want you to think of two different things. One, when you're running faster and you're pose running, you're going to be landing more on the front part of your foot, right? So as we land on the front part of our foot and we let our heel drop to the ground, we are eccentrically loading. We're negatively loading our calf, our gastroc and our soleus. So they are allowed to do that. That's why we have that big Achilles tendon. But if you haven't done that before and how you're running, then you're going to have more of that load, that eccentric load to those muscles. So you're going to get a little bit of sore, like muscle soreness, like building the strength in those muscles. Two, it probably happens more when you're running faster, because as we are accelerating more, as we are accelerating because we're falling forward further, we're going to then have that much more speed and velocity to control when we land with our foot underneath our body. So if we're just jogging, that's not a lot of load. But now we have this full forward fall when we're running, and as we're pulling our foot from the ground, falling, and then going to land on that stance foot, we have that much more velocity that we have to accept onto those calf muscles. So that makes sense. How do we take care of that? You have to make sure that you take care of that. So what you're gonna do is take your foam roller and you're gonna find the spots that are sore. There might be one or there might be 20. It really does not matter. Start at the bottom part of your leg, so at your Achilles, and don't just roll right down the middle. Roll to the inside, roll to the outside, find a spot. When you find the spot, cross your other foot on top of it. Now, we have a tendency when we have a sore muscle to tense up against the pain because it hurts. I want you to fight against that. Relax your muscle into the foam roll. When you put the other foot on top of it, you're going to have a little bit more pressure. Really think about just relaxing and letting that muscle melt into the foam roller. Okay? If that's enough for you, then that's fine. The next step would be to bring your toes up and down, or circles. Circles clockwise, circles counterclockwise. Again, number doesn't matter, but if you like, you can do 5 up and down, and then 5 circles. Relax, move on to the next spot. If you've been doing this for a while, congratulations, good job. Self-care is very important and difficult to do. But if you've been doing this for a while and this isn't enough for you, then you can lift your butt up. That's going to put a lot more pressure onto that area through the foam roller. But remember, it doesn't have to hurt more to mean that it's working better. You need to be able to relax your muscle, otherwise tensing up against it is just going to make that tension even more. The second thing that I want you to think about is that maybe it's not just because you have now changed your technique to landing more underneath your body and loading the calf. Maybe you're pushing off of the ground. And remember, when we're pose running, we're not pushing our foot off of the ground, because then that leaves our foot on the ground longer. And then we have a tendency to reach out with that other foot because we're counterbalancing, right? So what we need to do is, instead of thinking about pushing off of the ground, we're thinking about pulling our foot from the ground, right? Pull, 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 pull. So some of the drills that I like to do to make sure that I'm not pushing off of the ground, because you can feel it. You can feel when all of a sudden you get into that extension and you're leaving your foot on the ground too long. I stop and I hop in place, and then I jog in place, and then I fall forward. Okay? Pick your foot up off the ground. Pull your foot from the ground. That is pose running. I hope this helps. Please give it a try. If you have any questions, you can contact me through Facebook, Instagram, and email, CoachJen at BlueWaterMultisport.com, website as well. Happy training.